Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
see this? How you cannot go?
Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Oh, Lord. Come on. Let's get it in there. Let's get it cracking. My thing's trying to die on me. I think I need a new battery. Let me see what's going on. What would do? Take a battery. I guess I better put one in there. Because it's just doing whatever it wants to do. Hey, family. We came in here today. We got news last night, yesterday, early in the morning. No, I think it was, hold on. Because this thing still wants to do what it wants to do. Oh my God. Get out of here. But you guys, we've got a date for the verdict for the Breasia Terrell. You know I was going to come on in. I wasn't doing nothing yet. Getting ready to start doing some homework, you know. Thank you for the hearts. I love it. I love when I see them hearts. I see them. But anyway, if you guys don't know, she said, hey, Sanja Watts is in the building. I didn't see her come in. Where you at, Sanja Watts? I see Zena saying, hey, Sanja. She ain't in here yet, Zena. She didn't know we was coming on. So, check this out, you guys. So, the news came on, and they says that we're going to get a verdict. And Yes, she said, my bad. No worries. It's going to be September the 15th. That is a one whole week and a day away. September the 15th. Everybody put it in the chat so when people come in, they ain't got to wait for me to say it. They can see that you guys know September the 15th. I knew that when they made the announcement that they were going to announce it. They wasn't just going to happen and we got to watch and all this stuff. They were going to give everybody enough time to get in there and know what's going on. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Other channels have been following this case. And it's weird to me because this wasn't one. I mean, it's an okay case. When I say okay, it had already happened, you guys. And we spoke on it a little bit. And then next thing I know, boom, everybody dropped it. And then it appeared again. And I was like, man, this is tugging on my heart. And I know that I'm very interested in it. And I know that we can learn a lot from this case. It was not a decision I made. It may seem like I made the decision, but no. When something tug on your heart like that and nobody understands, like, why are you talking about this little girl and want to know what all happened and go through the timeline and the story and hear what everybody said and did, and now they're in court. Let's look at the court case and everything around us is happening. AllishaWatts was found and the boyfriend is arrested and such is going to court and all this other stuff. And a whole bunch of other stories came up. And other people were sharing stories with me like, hey, SP, did you hear this story? I said, yeah, but I'm really interested in just staying on this one here. I just want to know. I want to see it to the end. They're in court. And we're going to do this on the Terrell case. Not Terrell, but the case down there in Mississippi. I mean, not Mississippi, but my head is gone. The case with the officers, Memphis, Tennessee. So I am very happy that we have a court date. I don't know what to expect, but I am actually expecting the best. And it's weird because normally something that lasts this long, Tyree Nichols, thank you. Thank you, Miss Dee. Something that lasts this long, it seemed to me that the verdict would be not guilty. And I don't know. I can be 100% wrong because we all got an opinion about it. But I'm praying for at least murder. I'm not so convinced about the kidnapping, but I know what the rules, laws, regulations in Iowa is. It's just standard. Hey, da. So it could get the kidnapping. But for me, I just seem like if he wants to give him something, a lifeboat, let him keep the kidnapping. I know the kidnapping is a really hard charge. When I say hard, like you get found guilty on kidnapping. The charges is, so Miss Southern Belle is asking, what are the charges? Miss Southern Belle, let me tell you. The charges is first-degree murder or first-degree kidnapping. She says, Miss Dee Dee says, and oh my goodness, I can't believe Miss Dee Dee is saying it seems like it would be guilty to kidnapping, but the murder is questionable. The murder is not questionable to me. And we can agree to disagree. Because you know I love you, Miss Dee Dee. Even though you might want to make your macaroni with some sour cream. I don't know. The kidnapping has always been questionable to me because they say they see the little girl on the side of the car. And when the defense came on and said she's a storyteller, it made me so angry. It made me mad. If she's a storyteller, she tells the truth. Then why she she didn't wake somebody up and say, hey, what's going on? Why are you taking me? Why I gotta go? No. But somebody wake you up in the middle of the night. She said, yes, I love you too. But we don't know what he said to get her out. But we do know that kidnapping in Iowa says that you don't have to restrain someone or you don't have to take them to one place to another. But if you took them in the, basically, if you manipulated the situation, the conversation, especially a little girl, she's 10, and you say, hey, your mama is asking for you. Then the little girl gets up, put on her slippers, and go with you, and you really don't have to. There she is. I knew you was going to come in here. She said, I'm here. I see you in the building. A sister from another mother and another father in another state, in another atmosphere. So I don't know if you heard, you might heard like I heard. I'll say it again. The verdict date will be read September the 15th. And we were just sitting here just chit-chatting for a little bit. I'm glad that he's gonna do it on a Friday. That worries me a little bit. Why? She said, yes, I texted you. Okay. I got so much stuff going on. And I got so much stuff going on. Oh, you texted me this morning. You sure did. You surely did. Hold on, somebody. Yeah. You did. You text me, but let me see. What did you say in the text? You say, oh, okay. Update. Court date set for September 15th. So you must have heard about it this morning. I heard about it yesterday. Late yesterday. And I went to work. And this is after we got off the live, because we was on the live yesterday. And then Lisa Calhoun gonna say, just my opinion, just saying that Henry Dinkins is guilty of kidnapping when he removed Breasia from that apartment early in the morning hours. Yeah. Well, it may seem to be that easy. It's not really complicated that the little girl was with him that morning. And that's what the judge is probably like, dang, can I get him on this or can I not? Because this is just, I don't know what the judge is thinking. I'm just saying from my point of view that when we did the, and I'll do it again for the ones in the back. Our law about kidnapping, what is considered according to the Iowa Code 710.1, and remember, this happened July the 10th. So I'm hoping that's a good thing because it's Code 710.1, you guys. A person commits kidnapping when the person either confines a person or removes a person. So there's no evidence to confine or remove. He didn't remove her. She walked. Remember the little boy said, I seen him walking down the stairs. You remember Andrea says she was standing at the car and he came back upstairs to get something. And he was in the closet. So to remove someone, you literally put your hands on them and remove them. If they walked with you or they, is that considered removed? So, okay, when you look at the law and things of that nature, lay people, we say remove because she was supposed to be there. But when they gave him all rights to let her go with them, even though they said no, and he said, come on, she came. He confined her. I bet he did threaten her. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're assuming, which is a good thing because there's some kind of way we don't know if she was all in agreement with this. You guys are not understanding what I'm saying. She said, in my opinion, confine or remove. I don't see no evidence in that. Confine or remove doesn't really come to me. From one place to another without lawful authority and without the consent of the other to do so. Now, we don't know if she was in agreement, like some little girls, I'm not saying this one because she's 10, could really give him the authority to say, hey, let's go, but some little girls, not this one, you guys. I'm not talking about this one. But there are some little girls that's fast in the tail, in the pants. and they want to be like a grown woman, and they go to the guys and they say, I'm 17, and they're only but 13. And so then the guy go, okay, come to my house. And then they go to his house, and then he wants to do things with her, which she don't really understand. She ain't even prepared for it, because you got to be prepared to do stuff like that. You just can't just lay down and thinking, everything's smelling good and looking good, so little girls don't understand that. That's why they say them stinking little girls, because they haven't been taught that those parts of your body need special attention. And it's all depends sometimes on, Mother Nature and what you eat. And, so anyway, what constitutes the crime? The crime of kidnapping is a crime at common law consisting of an unlawful restraint of a person's liberty by force or show of force. Under modern law, this crime usually only requires that the victim be taken to another location or concealed. But historically, definition requires bringing the victim to another state or country. What is considered parental kidnapping? We don't want to know. What are the elements of kidnapping under the common law? You took or held someone through force or fear. And that's why I say sometimes, this kidnapping, it could have been a fear. But it's not saying it under our law. It was fear. I read you what our law says. According to Code 710.1, a person commits kidnapping when the person either confines a person or removes a person from one place to another without lawful authority and without the consent of the other to do so. She says, but he took her to another location, not another state. Nevertheless, he is asshole. Yep. People have been convicted on less evidence. He will be found guilty, period. You will be surprised. Thank God that we're going to have this verdict next Friday. Not this Friday, not tomorrow, you guys. Because you guys going to run in here and you're going to be like, where's the verdict? Where's the verdict? I was like, no. Tomorrow is the 8th. We said September the 15th. The middle of the month. And the judge, okay, let's talk a little bit about why would the judge say the middle of the month at the end of the week, Friday. That is not good to be on a Friday. Why I say that's not good? You look at everything because the courts will be closed Saturday and Sunday. You got the weekend to rejuvenate, get over your madness, get over your anger. Now, he said Monday, you could be like, yay, let's celebrate, So with it being Friday, that doesn't look too good either. I'm just giving you guys what you probably done ran in your head already. I'm just saying it out loud. Hey, Passion B, how you doing? Hey, Cherie. Friday has less employees in the building. So why would this okay, I know that he had to give us ample opportunity, but 24 hours is more than enough time. I'm just saying, you guys. See, when y'all just look at things as just black and white, but a person that likes to be in your mind and see how you maneuver, even though we don't know this judge. We don't know this judge. We've never seen this judge before in our life. We've never sat in this courtroom before and listened to him or heard him or even know how he swings. Nobody in here can tell me that you've been in this judge's courtroom and or listened to another case that he done presided over. Not one person in this room. Not even myself. But when you look at him on that bench and he's letting things, be said, and he's letting things not be said, you would think the way that he's looking, he's not trying to make no emotional facial expressions, that it's a good thing. The only good thing that we have in front of us, to be honest with you, is the motions that we didn't get to hear because the judge said no. And the things that they didn't let be brought into the trial, the judge heard them. The judge heard what evidence that they couldn't, who wasn't here, who died, what the cause was, what the past history of other, his criminal record, and anything else they brought up. She said maybe his docket is full and he had to move cases around for this case. Yes, Miss Dee, keep thinking. Sounds good. You're right. But he had the case since August the 29th. The reading of the judgment would probably take 10 to 20 minutes. It's only but 2 charges. We here, not the juror, but the judge, find the defendant guilty. That took 5 minutes. You ain't got to move nothing around. And we will decide the hearing of the sentence on another day. 5 minutes. You got to move stuff around for 5 minutes. And then recess and then start your other cases. So, hey, Rachel, how you doing? We have a date for what? The verdict. The verdict will be held, Miss Rachel, on September the 15th. They didn't give us the time, but I'm pretty sure 9 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have our face in the place. This is next Friday. He may just sentence him after the verdict also. No. Can't do that. Well, he's a judge. He can do anything you want to do. But you got to stay in the, we got rules and regulations and laws. Come on now, Miss Dee. Give me something to work with. Are you just gonna, you smarter than that. Come on now. He cannot sentence him right then because he's got to give time for emotions and stuff. He's got to give time for other stuff to take in effect. He's got to give time for, all kind of stuff. Let me Google it, though. Because, my kids say, Mama, you can Google anything. When a judge presides over a trial and the time for sentences, when do they do the sentences? A few months After the defendant is found guilty by pleading guilty or by trial, they return to court to be sentenced. The judge received guidance and assistance from several sources in order to sentence the defendant. But Miss Dee, you knew that. Come on, y'all. Don't y'all making me look bad. Y'all making me look bad. Because y'all, we family. So I gotta tell you when you say something that just you should already know. Victim impact statement has to come into play also. Yes. Come on, yeah. We're all learning. When a judge give a sentence, if a defendant pleads guilty or no contest or a juror find them guilty, then the judge decides what penalties or punishments they face. This is called the sentencing phase. A judge will address the victim compensation and called restitution. Judge provides instructions to jurors prior to their deliberations in the case of bench trials. Judge must decide the facts of the case. Judge must decide the facts of the case and make a ruling. Additionally, judges are also responsible for sentencing the convicted criminal defendant. Can a judge add to a sentence? If the court sentences a defendant, then the sentence generally cannot be modified. At that point, a specified statutory procedure is required unless the defendant has not begun serving his or her time. Who gets the last say in court? The prosecution goes first, followed by the defense, and then a rebuttal by the prosecution. Because the prosecution has the burden of proof, it gets the final word. We've seen that in the case. What is the judge's final decision called? Disposition. So that the final decision by the court, we've been calling it a verdict, but it's called a disposition in a dispute or disqualification. When a judge decides, usually voluntarily, not to hear a case, in most cases, this decision has to do with an outside interest or something, disposition. What do I say to a judge at sentence? What do you say to a judge at sentence? It is important for the court to know how you have been able to form your positive impression of the defendant. Don't be afraid to acknowledge the conviction. However, do not discuss the details of the offense, defend the act, or make statements of disbelief of guilt. How do you address what not to say? What does a judge say at the end of trial? Judge, after verdict is read, thank you, jury, for your services today. Court is adjourned. Any attorney may object to a question asked of a witness on the stand or the admission of exhibiting if he or she feels that it does not follow the rules of evidence. I am on other devices. Oh. We're happy to see you, Crystal. Yes. Okay. What are the three types of court decisions? The majority opinion, concurring opinion, and dissenting opinions. What not to say? How do you ask the judge leniency for leniency? I told y'all about the leniency. Remember when I told you if you ask for leniency and ask the court to forgive you and everything, you get leniency. It may not be what you thought. It ain't gonna be like, oh, stop on the wrist, but you're gonna get some leniency. Remember I told you guys, if you ever get in trouble, you can ask for leniency, and it does work. It don't work for everybody, but 9 times out of 10, if you really honestly out of character did something you weren't supposed to do, you go to that judge and you say, Judge, I am so sorry. I was this is not me. And just, tell him to, in the name, you know, if you believe in God, in the Lord our Savior, you tell him to forgive you for what you have done in God's name, you know. And you say that. You heard me. You say that. And he will give you leniency. Some people be like, but you're using God's name. No, that's your father. You better, you better bring his name up. I ask God for forgiveness. I'm asking you guys, I'm asking the court to forgive me. In God's name, would you please forgive me? I mean, because you really, actually, if you do that, you really better be sincere, because you can't just do it and then go out there running amok and doing something else. Because I guarantee you, if you get off and you didn't really mean what you just said, then you got to deal with the Father. And I don't know nobody that wants to deal with God that kind of way. Because you know what happened to the last person that thought they were playing with the Lord. Oh, I was talking about this last night. One of my employees found something in the Bible, you guys. It was in Revelations. Actually, it was the last page. I think it was in Revelations, last page. It was verse 16, where I guess Jesus was speaking and said, I come, or whatever. And then he calls himself the morning star. And so she was questioning, you know, she was asking me, the morning star is the devil, and why is he calling himself the morning star? And And I told her, first of all, I don't question the word. First of all, I don't question the word, and I'm not a scholar. And I know that there's trickery when you come asking me a question. I don't have to read a book. I have a relationship. I know what is right and what's wrong. And I don't care who said what and who, you know, man-made book, and you can contradict this and contradict that. Trying to find a flaw. The flaw is going to be in your understanding. God is going to reveal himself to those that is his. And if you don't understand, maybe you haven't asked, or maybe you're not his. So this conversation is over. Thank you very much. I'm not going to argue with nobody. And that's how you take care of stuff like that. Because they want to, you know, that's how they did the Pharisees and the Sadducees, you know, back then. They would be like, they'd be like, Rabbi. So if a man marries a woman and then they die and then she marries another, who gets the woman in heaven? Trying to trick Jesus into answering a question that only the physical world can understand. And I'm going to tell you something that's horrible, but it's true. When these people come to you to ask you a question that you can't answer, because you really can't. You don't know the answer. I ain't got to know the answer. Because I'm in it for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to know the answer. I don't have to. If God gives me the answer, then I got the answer. If he didn't give me the answer, me speaking on something I don't know is going to make that person turn another direction. But for them to question anything, who cares? They called, you know what I even told her? I said, look here. I Googled something. I said, they called Mother Mary the morning star too. So are you going to say she the devil? But Mary got called that because, you know, I guess she birthed or whatever you want to call it, Jesus. But if you don't believe in Jesus and you don't believe that was a virgin birth, then you just going to keep asking me more questions, and I wasn't here. You're going to have to ask the Lord that question. You hear me? All right. And you know what they always say? Oh, no, we're not arguing. Because I said, I'm not going to argue about this. I'm not going to argue about it. You either believe. She was like, but Jesus is not the Son. I said, girl, if you don't stop, let me tell you something. Those that have ears will hear. Those that have eyes, let them see. If you have neither one and you don't know, some don't know because they have not asked. But once he has revealed himself to you, and he cannot come until he do. He says every tongue will confess and every knee will bow. You will have to know and make that decision. She said, I wouldn't have stopped talking. Girl, please. I ain't finna sit there and, I'm not calling her the devil. But what you're doing is entertaining evil. Normally I don't. I didn't really stop talking. I just told her, you either believe or you don't. Okay? I'm not fin to try to impress you with what I know or whatever. And this is what I told her. You're never going to get me. I don't care what you bring. She went down to a resident's room, you guys, and got the Bible out of his room to show it to me. She was like, no, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you, sonny. I'm like, no, you don't. No. Let me go get it. This is what she told me. Let me go get it. You know what? I couldn't stop that girl from going to go get that book. She went and got it. She sure did. She went and got it. And she showed it to me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna find it. And it was a Gideon. It was a Gideon Bible. It wasn't a King James. It was a Gideon Bible. And I said, the first thing I see right now, because it says, I something. I said, well, if this is Jesus talking, why is it not in red? And she was like, is any of the rest of them in red? I was like, girl, I don't know about this book here. Because anytime that the Lord speaks, it's usually in red. And it wasn't in red, you guys. So that's the first problem I had. But let me find it real quick. I'm going to find it real quick. Let me turn on my light. Let me just find it real quick. She said, story time. Freddie said, I love story time. Okay, it is. It's the last chapter. It's chapter 22. She was talking about Revelation chapter 22. And the verse, chapter 22, and the verse is 16. And it is in red in my book. But in her book, it wasn't red. Because that's why I told her, I said, maybe I don't need to be reading your book. Because anytime when I see it in red, it's word for word. And that's what it says. You know? Bird is the word. But it is red in my book. And it does says, I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify to you these things in the church. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. And then she was like, and I went and I read David and you know what I'm saying? She wanted me to explain it to her like right then and right there. Like, tell me, you know? You know what I tell people? You need to read it for yourself. Me telling you my understanding and you sitting there shaking your head the whole entire time. Girl, I ain't got time for that. Because first of all, I don't care. All I know and all I need to know is Jesus is the Son of God. But she says, but he's not. He says he's the descendant of David. I said, girl, if you sit here and tell me you love the Lord, and you gonna sit here and tell me that you know that Jesus, but you're gonna tell me that Jesus is not the Son, we have nothing else to talk about. Because here's what I know, and this is what I've read. And if God wants me to know something else, he'll tell me. But other than that, you can't tell me nothing. I know there's a God, and he tells me that he sent his Son to take care of my sins. And he's the only one that could done that. Now, I don't know how we ever going to get saved if he's not, which that's what you're telling me, which I don't believe, because he says he went to go prepare a place. Many mansions and all of this stuff. And he cannot lie. So what you're telling me is my God has lied to me? And she's like, now that you put it like that, I'm not saying that. No, that's what you're saying. Because my God that I love and that I know cannot lie. He cannot lie. He says he gave his only begotten Son. Now, what descendant it is and what, family offspring it come from, that's what you want to talk about? You're not even supposed to be talking about the lineages and all of that, because we're not going to understand it back in those times, just like you don't understand the months and the dates and the times. I'm not going to answer that question because I don't know. All I know is I do believe, without a doubt, in my heart, mind, body, and soul, that God said he sent his Son, and I believe he did. And it washes away my sins. And I believe it do. And that's all I need to know. That's it. I don't care about David. I don't know if you're talking about King David. I don't know if you're talking about, David and Goliath. I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't care. So if you want to talk to somebody, you have to talk to a scholar. Because right now you're talking to somebody that has a relationship. I don't study just to show myself approved. I live this life, and I'm not changing. I'm not moving. I'm not budging. That's all I know. And that's all I got to know. I got a father, and he got a son, and he cleansed my sins, and that's it. And I'm going to do the best I can do to be a good student, good servant. I'm not going to question all this stuff in the book. Because at the end of the day, that's a book. That's a book. And people can tamper around with the book. But what he puts inside of us, we know. You know the truth. Ain't nobody got to tell you. You know what? Ain't nobody got to sit there and go to church every day, every weekend and be like, oh, I'm a Christian. Because you want men and people to say that you're a Christian because you go every Sunday. Well, the word is still the same word. You heard it already. Nobody got to beat it in my head. You tell me one time I got it. You dwell in something. Some people need it. Some people don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I might be a little sick, like my auntie would tell me all the time. People that's sick, they go to the hospital. When you're a sinner, you go to the church. Because I used to tell all the time the people in the churches, they out there partying. She said that's where they're supposed to be because they're sinners. And then I got it. I understand what she's saying. It didn't make sense to me when she first said it, but now I get it. I'm a sinner every day. She told me she thinks she's going to hell. I said, nah, you're not going to hell. And then I said, oh, if you blaspheme, she said, that's what I did. I said, well, she said, it's unforgiven. Honey, just go talk to your father. Call it a good day. Son, let me call you back in about 10 minutes. All right. So I believe it was a kind of an entrapment to get me to, like, oh, you found something that sparks my interest. Girl, you can't never tell me nothing about my father that I don't already know. You know what I'm saying? You cannot tell me something that I don't. They like, yes, I can. Like, no, you can't. We have a personal relationship. Very personal. Just like I'm never going to tell you everything about me and my life and my everything. You ain't going to know. You think you know, but you don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get on to all of that, you guys. I just wanted to tell you, like anytime when we out there in the world, we are representative of our Father. And what we say is crucial to people because they are still trying to figure out what is. You're not going to know all the answers. I don't know all the answers. I just don't. That's why when I look into stuff, I dig deep. I dig deep. Because understanding is half the battle. But once you know something, and God says the people that know, it's not something to be like boastful. I'm not boastful about it. But I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to worry about all that. Whatever she talking about, I ain't worried about none of that. Girl, bye. You better go to church some more or something. I don't know. She's like, oh no, I'm going to hell. Because we were starting to talk, and I told her, I said, some people, but I guarantee you, if you ask the Lord to tell you, to show you what is right, what is wrong, he will. He will. But you better be prepared and ready for what you see or what you know. Because once you know, that's it. So if you take the other way, the wrong way, or you go down Straight Street. Anybody know about Straight Street? To Damascus? Where he made that donkey start talking? Somebody was going the wrong way. And the donkey told him, nope. And he was going to strike that donkey, and the donkey's like, hey, I can't let you go. Because if you know what I'm saying? There was an angel there with a sword. The donkey told him, he going to kill me and you. People say those are just tales, SP. Those are just tales. I said, yeah, I hear what you're saying. But I guarantee you, there is a God. And I guarantee you that he can do with whatever he wants in this world. It's all possible. It's all possible. So You can take it or leave it. I don't know. I don't know. I like story. I like the stories. They keep me happy because that's what kind of God we serve. But you know what kind of God we serve? You wouldn't question him. You really wouldn't. You just go by what he say. So I pray to God that we get our verdict. Well, we're going to get it on the 15th, you guys. We're going to get it on the 15th of September. Around probably about 9 o'clock, we'll be looking for it. We'll be still on verdict watch all the way up until that day. We just won't have to do it every day from now. Yes, that's right. That is a personal relationship. Once you have that personal relationship, that's it. I'm taking it to the grave with me. People be like, oh, no, you do this just to live or survive. No, I won't. I don't care. I just don't care. If you take, I'm going to tell you guys, there's this book, and I'm not going to tell you the name. You guys probably already know it. Please don't put it in the chat. Please don't. And, but this book is a nonfiction book. And please do not put the title or the name or who wrote the book in the chat if you know, because I've told you guys about this book before. But you have to be a real Christian to read this book. You really do. You really got to have a relationship. But this book is a nonfiction book. And for the book to be nonfiction, what does that mean? Somebody put it in the chat. What does that mean if the book is nonfiction? Because some of us in here don't know what nonfiction means. And everybody's sitting there talking about, yeah, we all know. No, we all don't. We all don't know. What does nonfiction mean? There's a reason why I asked you to put it in the chat. Somebody Google it. See what I'm saying? Somebody Google it, please. Thank you, Lisa Taylor. Thank you, Lisa Taylor. Thank you, Lisa Taylor. Y'all better look at that answer. Thank you, Lisa Taylor. Come on, you guys. That's the reason why I said that is because I knew you was going to get it wrong. You hear the word non and you think it's not true. It's true. It's true. Nonfiction means it's the truth. You learned something today. I always thought it was not the truth because it says nonfiction. No, it means it's true. It's kind of a little bit confusion. It wanted to confuse you. So now that you know nonfiction means it's a real true story. Do you know the Bible is a nonfiction? And not only that, this book I'm going to tell you about is nonfiction, okay? I'm going to tell it to you really quick. So this book, I'm not going to tell you the name of the book. I'm not going to tell you who wrote the book because I don't want you to go get it because if you thought that nonfiction was a lie or not the truth, then you're not really ready for this book right now. But this book was written by some spirits. This man and his encounter with the spirits, and these spirits was writing letters to each other. It was a demonic spirit. I know, I get it messed up too, but I had to learn. And then I wanted to never get that wrong because, yes, trust me, at the beginning, I used to get it mixed up. But these spirits was writing, these evil spirits was writing letters to each other to how to take this man down. And anyway, it's a long story, but the letters are in the book of these spirits talking to each other. It's a nonfiction book. So that means what? It has to be true. So anyway, and these are really spirits. These was demonic spirits of how to get this man to get him to go to HEW hockey stick. And anyway, this book is very hard to find. I bought the book. Actually, I kept it. I didn't return it to the library. But guess what? I don't have it no more. I don't have it anymore. She said, rebuke that girl, SP. I ain't rebuking her. You know, I already said something to her and made her angry because I said something about, I said something and she kind of laughed at first, and then she said, don't say that. I always thought that of myself because I said something like, you're the angel of death. That's what I said to her. And I don't even know where it came from, you guys. I just threw it out there. I said, oh, hush up. You talking about you're going to go to hell. You must be the angel of death, girl. She said, oh, Sonny, don't say that. I said, why? She said, that's not funny. I always thought that of myself. Why would you say that? I said, I don't know. And she looked at me. She said, out of all the names, you said I'm the angel of death. I said, girl, please. I said, you ain't going to hell, okay? I said, get back in that book and quit questioning God. And she just looked at me, and I was done. Conversation was done. Okay? But anyway, in this book, these spirits was talking to each other like, you know, teaching them. They was like the uncle needed to teach the nephew how to get this man to make all these bad decisions and stuff, and so he can end up in hell. And at the end of the whole story, the guy died, and the guy he enlisted or something, but he died. But he didn't make it. He didn't go to hell because something he did. He didn't go to hell, or he got killed some kind of way in a car wreck. I can't remember the end of how he got killed, but he didn't go to hell. And so the demon that was stationed over his life to bring him down, because you've got angels that is assigned to you, and then you've got demonic spirits that's assigned to you too. You do know that, right? So anyway, the demonic spirit that was assigned to this guy, since he did not complete his task and get him to denounce God or whatever, all the other demonic spirits, they were having a party, a cookout or whatever. And this demonic spirit didn't even know, but it was to eat him up, you know? Anyway, to make a long story short, you guys, you have to be very careful of people watching you. What happened to my book? To be honest with you, I don't know. I could tear this whole house up. I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, because I know that there's more. I'm gonna get it again. Even if I gotta order it, I'm gonna get it again, and I'm gonna lock it up in my safe this time. Because I want my kids. I don't want nobody to read that book. I told my mom about it. And first I gave it to my cousin. I said, cousin, I got a book for you. I want you to read this book. And then I sent the book over to my cousin's house. She called me. She read like 2 pages. She said, girl, you come and get this book now. You messing with my religion. And she go to church every Sunday. I said, what? Messing with your religion? She said, girl, nope. I cannot read that. And then I was telling my mom about it. And I said, Mom, why was she so? I mean, she goes to church every Sunday, and I just wanted her to tell me, like, could we talk about this book? And my mom said, some people can't get it. They can't understand it or whatever. And it's a nonfiction book too. And I said, yeah, I just wanted to talk to somebody about it, because it, hey, how I received it was kind of weird. But I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm going to bring you the book. Would you read it, Mama? Would you read the book? My mama said, yeah. She said, bring the book over here. I'll read the book. I took the book over to my mama's house. And she started reading the book. She called me up. She said, girl, where did you get this book at? Who told you about this book? I said, Mom, what you think about it? She says, don't ever give this book to somebody that is not ready. This book. She said, I'm going to read the book. It's scary. It's really scary. And she read it. She read more. She finished the book that night. The next day, she stayed up and read the whole book. It's not a big book either. It's probably like 80, 90 pages. But it's in big bulk print too. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can read the book in a day or two. I mean, and that ain't reading it all day, all that other stuff. That's like taking breaks and really going, whoa, because that's what you would do. You would take breaks and you would be like, but I'm gonna tell. My mother asked me, she said, why did you read the book? I said, I wanted to know how to maneuver, like all the things, the manipulations and things of the world. So because we think we know. We don't. But that book opened up a whole different atmosphere for me. And my mother told me, she said, I don't ever want to read another book like this again. I asked her what she think about it. I said, you think it's true? She said, yeah, it's true. But it's not for everybody to know. So I don't advocate the book because of that reason. Yeah. I actually said something about that book a couple of times on here. I even said the name of the book. Out of all the books in the world, that's the only book I know the name of. And I've read plenty of books, but that book, I know the name of that book. I mean, I literally went to the library and asked them for that book, and they was like, oh, we don't have it. And then guess what? I said, they say that on the thing that you guys do have the book. And so she had to go call the man, the person over the whole library. Now, remember, as a kid, I used to work for the library. That was my summer job, my first summer job working as a kid, when you. And so I think I was like 11 or 12 or something, and I worked for the library. So they went down in the basement of the library and got me that book. I tell you no lie. I kid you not. I put that on everything I love, you guys. And I ain't swearing. I'm just telling you the truth. And I was like, why would y'all have this book in the basement? Because they don't want people to know the truth. That's why. Anyway, like I was telling the young lady, maybe it's best that you stay in that Bible because you don't want to read stuff that I've read because we get down and dirty with it. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. I just wanted to let you guys know that God is still in control no matter what the verdict is. I just feel like it's not going to be 100% on both ends. I just don't. I don't know. I wish it was, but I never felt like that. But we'll see come September the 15th. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We just had us an extra live, just chit-chatting and chilling. You can always learn something. You know, when you try to tell people stuff to help them out, or they know or whatever, they be smiling at you knowing they making a bad decision. And they be like, yeah, girl, I'm doing this. You know, you want to help them, but you can't because they foolish. Let them be foolish. Let them be foolish. I got something to share with you guys, but I won't share it today. Because, um, you know, my walls have ears too. But pray for each one. Pray for me. Keep me in your prayers, you guys. And you guys keep Breasia's family in your prayers. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, in the same place. Bye.